Amit has forgotten his 4-digit locker key. He remembers that all the digits are positive integers and are different from each other. So basically all the digits that we can take is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and all the 4 digits are distinct from each other. Moreover, the 4th digit is the smallest. The maximum value of the first digit is 3. Also, he recalls that if he divides the second digit by the third digit, he gets the first digit. How many different combinations does Amit have to try for unlocking the locker? So 4-digit number, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. The first digit, second digit, third digit, fourth digit. First digit can be maximum 3. It can be 1, 2, or 3 maximum, right? Then it says this digit, the 4th digit, is the minimum. So definitely this digit will be bigger than this. So what are the possibilities? I can take this 3, then this will be 2 or 1. So let's take one more combination. This is 3, this is 1. And then if I take the first digit as 2, then this will be 1. No other possibility, because the first digit can be maximum 3. And this must be minimum of all the 4 digits. So now it says that when second digit is divided by the third digit, he gets the first digit. Means if we talk about the first one, this case, if this value is x, this value must be 3x. We cannot take x is equal to 2. We cannot take x is equal to 3. If I put x is equal to 1, this will become 3. And 3 is already taken. So this is also not valid. I cannot take x more than 3, because if x is 4, 3x will be 12. That is not possible. So this case is not possible. Let's come to the second one. I cannot take this as 1, because then it will become 3. Both of them will be repeated. I can take this as 2, then this will become 6. This case is possible, right? 3 times. I can take this 3, but 3 will be repeated. Okay, 4, 12 is not possible. Let's come to this one. 2 times. When second digit is divided by 3 digit, the result is 2. 1 and 2 is not possible. I can take this as 3, then this will become 6. And then there will be one more case, which is this is 2, this is 1. I can take the third and the second digit as 4 and 8 respectively, right? I cannot take this 5 or 10. So that's it. 1, 2, 3. Such numbers are possible. If there are 3 numbers, then we always take in these type of situation the worst case situation. Question is, how many different combinations does Amit have to try for unlocking the locker? Although if it's a good day and Amit is lucky, then he might get it correct on the first try, right? But answer won't be 1, because there are 3 possibilities. We always take the worst case possible here. So there will be 3 numbers that he will have to try at worst. And the answer is option E. Thank you. The problem below consists of a question and 2 statements numbered 1 and 2. You have to decide whether the data provided in the statements are sufficient to answer the question. So this is the data provided. Rahim is riding upstream on a boat from point A to B at a constant speed. The distance from A to B is 30 km. 1 minute after Rahim leaves from point A, a speedboat starts from point A to go to point B. It crosses Rahim's boat after 4 minutes. If the speed of the speedboat is constant from A to B, what is Rahim's speed in still water? What's given? Statement 1, the speed of the speedboat in still water is 30 km per hour. Rahim takes 3 hours to reach point B from point A. Okay. And the options in these type of data sufficiency questions in XAT, the options are always same. And option A is statement 1 alone is sufficient to answer the question, but statement 2 alone is not sufficient. Statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the question, but statement 1 alone is not sufficient. Each statement alone is sufficient. Both statements together are sufficient, but neither of them alone is sufficient. Statements 1 and 2 together are not sufficient. So remember, the question is, what is Rahim's speed in still water? So let's try to solve it here. First of all, Rahim is going upstream. So boat is also going upstream. Now one thing that we need to understand, that Rahim started 1 minute before, right? After Rahim leaves from point a speed boat starts from point A to go to point B only just after 1 minute, and it crosses Rahim boat after 4 minutes. Means the time, let's say Rahim is somewhere here, so 1 plus 4, Rahim took a total of 5 minutes to get this point, and the speedboat was able to cover this distance nothing but 4 minutes, right? If you compare their speeds, what will happen? Speed of Rahim minus speed of river. So let's say speed of river is smaller, and speed of speedboat minus speed of river. This what we get, ratio of their speeds, right? Rahim in upstream and speedboat in upstream, and this ratio should be equal to opposite of the time taken by them, right? So r minus r, in this case 5, this is 4, so this will be 4 by 4. So what do we have? We have 3 variables, r, s and r, correct? And in that case, if I want to find Rahim's speed in still water, then we need at least 2 of them, because if we get the value of 2 of them, we find the third one, right? Now if we use the first one, the speed of the speedboat in still water is 30 km per hour. If you just put 30 here, you are not going to get anything, right? Because still we will have 2 variables, r and small r, speed of Rahim and speed of this stream, right? And we won't be able to find it. So statement 1 alone is not good enough to answer the question. Rahim takes 3 hours to reach point B from point A. 3 hours, 30 km. Total distance is 30 km. So speed of Rahim in upstream, this, right? 30 upon 3, that is equal to 10. Now we know that r minus r is equal to 10, correct? Now if I put this, r minus r is equal to 10, and the speed of the steel boat in so this is 30. 30 minus r is equal to 4 by 5. So definitely we can find the speed of stream. Once we find the speed of stream, r minus r is 10. Do we need to solve it? No, we don't need to solve it. We just need to understand if we will be able to answer this question, right? So of course, when we get the value of r minus r is equal to 10, we put it and we get the value of speed of Rahim in still water, right? So answer can be given by both the statements, but not any of the statements alone. So the answer for this question, both statements together are sufficient, neither of them alone is sufficient. Option D. Rajneesh bought an item at 25% discount on the printed price. He sold it at 10% discount on the printed price. What is his profit percentage? So we can solve these type of question very easily by assuming the printed price. Let printed price is equal to 100 rupees. If the printed price is 100 rupees, what will be his cost price? Cost price of Rajneesh will be equal to 100, 25% discount, right? So that is equal to nothing but 75. And what will be his selling price? 10% discount. So selling price is 100 into 1 minus 10 upon 100. That is equal to 90 rupees. Question is, what's his profit percentage? So total profit will be 15. So profit percent will be equal to 15 upon 75 into 100. 15 into 5 is 75. This is 20 times. So the value we get is 20%, which is option D. The problem below consists of a question and 2 statements numbered 1 and 2. You have to decide whether the data provided in the statements are sufficient to answer the question. Another data sufficiency problem, and the options are same. Statement 1 is sufficient, 2 is not sufficient, 2 is sufficient, 1 is not sufficient. Each statement alone is sufficient, together sufficient, alone not sufficient, together also not sufficient. So let's try to solve this here. In a cricket match, 3 slip fielders are positioned on a straight line. The distance between first slip and second slip is the same as the distance between second and the third slip. The player X, who is not on the same line of slip fielders, throws a ball to the third slip, and the ball takes 5 seconds to reach the player at the third slip. if we had thrown the ball at the same speed to the first slip or to the second slip, it would have taken 3 seconds or 4 seconds respectively. What is the distance between the second slip and the player X? So the situation we have is something like this. So we can say this is the first slip. Let's say this is point A, this is point B, and this is point C. The first slip is here, the second slip is here, the third slip is here. The distance between the first slip and second slip, and the distance between the second slip and the third slip is equal, and there is player X, right? Now it says that when player X throws the ball at the third slip, it takes 5 seconds to reach here. But in case of second slip, it takes 4 seconds only. When it reaches the first slip, it takes 3 seconds only. In all the 3 situations, the distance is same, right? So the time is given. We need to find the distance between second slip and player X. We need to find the distance Bx. So what do we want? We have time. If somehow we know the speed, we can find the distance. Statement 1 says the ball travels at a speed of 3.6 km per hour. We have 4 seconds, 3.6 km per hour already given. So definitely we have speed as well. So we don't need to calculate, we don't need to find, okay? But we can be sure that statement 1 is good enough to answer the question, right? Now in the second one, the distance between the first slip and the third slip is 2 meters. First slip and third slip is 2 meters. That means this is 1, this as well is 1. AB is 1, BC is 1. Now what do we have? Can I say if the speed by which ball is thrown is same, then in that case, if I take the distance traveled, this distance is 3x, this distance must be 4x, this distance must be 5x, correct? Same ratio because the speed is constant. So distance covered is in the same ratio of time taken, 3x, 4x, 5x. What do you see here? I see XB is median of triangle AXC. And we can use the Apollonius theorem, right? We can use the Apollonius theorem. We have only one variable, right? What is Apollonius theorem? Apollonius theorem is AX square plus CX square is equal to 2 times BC square plus Bx square. Now definitely we will be able to solve it, right? We will be able to find this variable x here and we get the distance between B and x. But there is one problem. What is that problem? That we will understand when we try to solve it. So what will happen? 3x square is 9x square plus 25x square is 2 times 16x square plus this is 1, right? This is 1. So now what will happen? This is 32 and this is 34. So 2x square is equal to 2 or x square is equal to 1 or x is equal to 1. If x is equal to 1, meaning this length is 3, this length is 4 and this length is 5, right? Now there is one problem. What is that? Although we got the distance Bx is equal to 4, but if you remember the properties of triangle, then what does it say? It says that sum of any 2 sides is greater than the third. But if we check here, 1 plus 4 is equal to 5, not greater. Similarly, AC 2, AX 3, and this is 5. So triangle is not possible here, right? The situation that's given here is not possible. So that's why this was an error in this question, and XAT accepted this and all the candidates were awarded marks for this question. Although if we have to answer it in case of data sufficiency, answer should be option D. Question can be answered using any of the given statement alone, option D. But as this statement is discarded, we can say answer should be option A, but none of the options are actually correct, okay, because the question is wrong. Thank you. Given A is equal to mod of x plus 3 plus mod of x minus 2 minus mod of 2x minus 8, the maximum value of mod A is. So to solve these type of questions, you should always be familiar with the how to draw the graphs of these, and then you can solve these questions very easily. Try to find the value of A at different critical points. What are the critical points? Here we have critical points -3, then we have critical point at 2, and here the critical point is 4. Critical point where any term becomes 0. X plus 3 will become 0 when x is -3. This will become 0 when x is 2, and this will become 0 when x is 4. Now we need to find the value of x when x is equal to -3. So A will be equal to, this will become 0, this will become 1, minus this will become 2. That is equal to nothing but 1 minus 2. That is a -1, right? Let me check the value again. If I put this -3, so this is 0, -3, this will become 5. -3 minus 2, so 0. Then this will become 5 minus -3, so -6, and then 8 minus 14, so this will become -14. I was completely off in this calculation at first. Then if I take x is equal to 2, then A will be equal to 2 plus 3 is 5, 2 minus 2 is 0, minus 4 minus 8 is -4, so this will become 4, that is equal to 1. And then if I take x is equal to 4, this will become 7, A will be equal to 7, 4 minus 2 is 2, and this will become 0, and that gives us 9. So at -3, A is -9, right? A is -9, and at x is equal to 2, A is 1, and x is equal to 4, A is equal to 9, somewhere here. So the graph will go like this. From here, deviation, then another deviation, and this will be constant. If you check any value of x which is greater than 4, you are going to get the same value. See, if I put x is equal to 10, what will happen? 10 plus 3, 13, and 10 minus 2 is 8, minus, and 10 into 2, 20 minus 8 is 12. So this is, once again, 21 minus 12 is 9. If you take any value of x which is less than -3, again you are going to get same value which is -9. If I take x is equal to, let's say, -5, so this will become 2. This will become -5 minus 2 is -7, so positive value is 7, and this is -10 minus 18, and that is equal to -9, right? So you can understand it that this will be the graph. And if I take mod of it, this is mod A. If I take mod of it, so what will happen? The negative portion will now become positive. Now this will be the graph of mod A, correct? Question is, this -9 will become +9 now. Question is the maximum value of A. So the maximum value of A is nothing but 9. It will always remain 9, and that is our answer. Thank you. ABC is a triangle with BC is equal to 5. D is the foot of the perpendicular from A to BC. E is a point on CD such that BE is equal to 3. The value of AB square minus A square plus 6CD is. Okay. So first of all, we draw this triangle like this, and this is the perpendicular. So A, B, D, and C. This point is D, and this point is C. Then there is a point E as well, where BE is equal to 3. So we can say EC will be equal to 2, and BE is 3. If I take this x, then this will be equal to 3 minus x, correct? Now we need to find AB square minus A square and plus 6CD. So first of all, our target should be, how do we achieve AB square minus A square? So we have common perpendicular, right? ED. Can I say that AD square will be equal to AB square minus BD square, right? And that will be same as AE square minus D square. So can you see? We are getting AB square minus A square. So AB square minus A square, we already got this. And then we have BD square minus DE square, BD minus DE. Then what we need to find? We need to find AB square minus A square plus 6 CD, right? So let's write it down. BD square minus DE square plus 6 CD. Now we need to figure out only this value, nothing else. Now we can put the values B, D and as well as CD. What is CD? CD is 2 plus X, correct? So what will happen? Let's see if I put the values. BD is equal to 3 minus X whole square and DE is equal to X square and 6 times CD, and CD is equal to 2 plus X. Now if we solve this, 9 minus 6X plus X square minus X square plus 12 plus 6X. Now if we cancel out 6X, X square, very easily we are getting 21 and it's in the options, right? So option E is the correct answer. The addition of 7 distinct positive integers is 1740. What is the largest possible, greatest common divisor of these 7 distinct positive integers? So what we can say, let's say the common divisor is X, then the different multiplier of these numbers will be like this, right? And this should be equal to 1740, correct? All of these A1, A2, A3 till A7 are distinct. And the 7 distinct numbers we are talking about, XA1, XA2, XA3 till XA7. But X is the common divisor. All of these are distinct. So we need to maximize the value of X. If I want to maximize the value of X, we should minimize the value of A1 plus A2 till A7. What will be the minimum value of 7 positive integers? If I take all of them as minimum, 1 plus 2 plus 3 till 7, right? But this is equal to 28. If you try dividing 1740 by 28, so this is divisible by 4, but if you divide this by 7, so 1434, not divisible by 7. So we cannot take this combination. So after 28, what do? We take 29. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 till, let me take every single values here. So instead of 7, if I take 8, then the minimum sum of A1 to A7 will be 29. Now let's check if this is divisible by 29. 1740 divided by 29, 29 into 6, so this is 60. It cannot be more than that because this sum of 7 distinct natural numbers given here cannot be less than 29. It can be less than 29, 28, but for that X won't be integer, right? But in this case, if I take this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 8, then minimum sum is 29, and in that case X maximum will be 60. So our numbers will be 60 into 1, 60 into 2, 60 into 6 and 60 into 8. Sum of all these will be 1740. If you check the options, option B is the correct answer. Jose borrowed some money from his friend at simple interest at 10%, invested the entire amount in stocks. At the end of the first year, he repaid 1/5 of the principal amount. At the end of the second year, he repaid half of the remaining principal amount. And at the end of the third year, he repaid entire remaining principal amount. At the end of the fourth year, he paid the last 3 years interest amount. Okay. As there was no particular principal left, his friend did not charge any interest in the fourth year. At the end of the fourth year, he sold out all his stocks. Later, he calculated that he gained 97,500 after paying principal and interest amounts to his friend. If his invested amount in the stocks became double at the end of the fourth year, how much money did he borrow from his friend? Very interesting question, looks very lengthy, but it's important that you take proper value to solve it. See, 1/5, then half, then half. Let's check. Let total principal is equal to 500p. Why I am taking 500p? you will get it later. Now, if we talk about the principal in a particular year and interest on that, so what will be the situation? First year, after second year, and on the third year. Initially, the principal is 500 P, right? So the interest will be 50 P here. At the end of the first year, it says at the end of the first year, he repaid 1/5 of the principal, 100 P is paid. Now the principal left is 400 P. So 10% of this, the interest will be 40 P. After that, he paid 200, half of this. So now for the third year, 200 P is the interest, principal, and 20 P is the interest. So these will be the interest for the 3 years, right? Now initially it was 500 P and the amount of stocks got doubled. What is the total amount that this person, Jose, paid? Total principal is 500 P plus this is nothing but 90 plus 20, 110 P plus what he saved, 97,500. This is equal to, so his investment in stocks became double, right? So he invested 500 P. Now this value is 1000 P. This is the total value, right? So now we are getting 610. So 390 P is equal to 97500. Now this must be divisible. 13 into 3, 13 into 7, 65, 5 times. This is 25 times. So what are we getting? We are getting P is equal to 250. What are we looking for? We are looking for 500 P, the total. So 125000, 1,25,000 is the total amount that he borrowed from his friend. And the answer is option D. The Guava Club has won 40% of their football matches in the Apple Cup that they have played so far. If they play another N matches and win all of them, their winning percentage will improve to 50. Further, if they play 15 more matches and win all of them, their winning percentage will improve from 50 to 60. How many matches has the Guava Club played in the Apple Cup so far? In the Apple Cup matches, there are only 2 possible outcomes, win or loss. Draw is not possible. Okay, so let's say initially they had played X matches, right? And out of these X matches, they won 40% of them. So here, I would like to take this X as 10X. Why? Because 40% will be 4X, straightforward. So what we can say that total winning percentage later is 50, correct? So can I say that 50% of 10X plus N is equal to, this is the total number of matches played, that will be equal to 40% first and 100% later, that is N, correct? All of them, they won all of them the matches, okay? So this is 1/2, so we can say 10X plus N is equal to 8X plus 2N, or 2X is equal to N, right? Now, total number of matches played by them is 12X, correct? Out of those 12X, they have won 50%. If they play 15 more matches and win all of them, their winning percentage will improve from 50 to 60. So once again, 60% of what? 60% of 12X plus 15 more matches, right? 60% of this is equal to, so out of 12X, they won 58%, that is 6X, and rest, they won all the 15. So from there, this is 3 upon 5. We can say 36X plus 45 is equal to 30X plus 75, or 6X is equal to 30, or we can say X is equal to 5. Question is, how many matches has the Guava Club played in the Apple Cup so far? So X is 5, 10X is equal to 50. Answer is option A. Now this is one method to solve this question. This is the algebraic method. We can solve this question very easily using alligation. How is that possible? See, we have total initially, if it was, let's say 10X matches, let's say 10X only, just to avoid confusion. So when this team has played 10X plus N matches, the winning percentage is 50, right? And remaining 15 matches, the winning percentage is 100. And taking these two together, we are getting 60%. If that is not allegation, then what is, right? So 100 minus 60 is 40, 60 minus 50 is 10. So they are in the ratio of 4:1. If this is 15, this is 60. So total number of matches played at this point when the winning percentage is 50 is 60. Now let's again think about this. We have 40%, so 10x matches, and we have n matches, right? N matches, and here the winning percentage is 40%, here the winning percentage is 100%. And taking these two together, it should be 50%. So 100 minus 50 is 50, 50 minus 40 is 10. So these two should be into 5:1 ratio, right? And the total we know that this is nothing but 60. 10x plus n is 60, right? So 5:1, this will become 50 and this will become 10. This is also the method that you can use, and that's my favorite method to solve these type of questions. Thank you. Find the value of sine 6 15 degree, sine 6 75 degree plus 6 sine square 15 degree into sine square 75 degree upon sine 4 15 degree and sine to the power 4 75 degree sine plus 5 sine square 15 degree into sine square 75 degree. At first it looks like a very complicated question, but to solve these type of questions, what you need to do, take sine 15 degree as a, so this will become a to the power 6, sine 75 degree as b, so b to the power 6 plus 6 a square into b square. Then denominator will be a to the power 4 plus b to the power 4 plus 5 a square into b square. Now it looks much solvable, right? It looks much solvable. So how do we do it? How do we proceed from there? See, we have something like a square plus b square very close to 2a square b square, a cube b cube plus 3a square b square into a plus b. This is how we write a plus b whole cube. So where do we get this a plus b or a square plus b square thing? What is a square plus b square? A square plus b square is nothing but sine square 15 degree plus sine square 75 degree. And what do we know? That sine theta is equal to cos 90 minus theta and vice versa, right? Sine 90 minus theta is equal to cos theta. Can I say that sine 75 degree can be written as cos 15 degree, 90 minus 75, and this value is nothing but 1. So now we are going to modify this a little bit. What we are going to do here, a to the power 6, b to the power 6 plus 3a square b square into a square plus b square plus 3a square b square. It's still the same expression, right? Why? 3a square b square, 3a square b square. We know that a square plus b square is equal to 1, correct? So we don't need to worry about that. It's still the same expression. A to the power 4, b to the power 4 plus, what do we need to make it a perfect square? 2a square b square. What's left? 3a square b square. Now we can write this as a square plus b square to the power 3 plus 3a square b square. Denominator, it will be a square plus b square whole square plus 3a square b square. Now what do we know about this? A square plus b square is 1. A square plus b square is 1. So this becomes 1 plus 3a square b square divided by 1 plus 3a square b square. And this will be cancelled out, right? And the answer is nothing but 1. Answer is option C. ABC is a triangle and the coordinates of A, B and C are A, B minus 2C, A, B plus 4C and minus 2A, 3C respectively, where A, B and C are positive numbers. The area of the triangle ABC is. So whenever we have a triangle with vertices x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3, then what do we say? The area of this triangle is equal to half of x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 y3 minus y1 plus x3 y1 minus y2. Now if nothing comes to your mind, you can straight away use this and find the area. So in that case, area will be equal to half of x1 is a, then y2 b plus 4c minus 3c, this will become b plus c, plus x2 which is again a into y3 which is 3c minus b minus 2c, so 5c minus b, plus x3 which is minus 2a, so minus 2a into y1 minus y2, b minus 2c minus b plus 4c, so minus 6c. This is what we need to find, right? So 1 by 2 and this will become ab plus ac, 5ac minus ab, and this is nothing but 12 times ac. So you can see ab is cancelled out. We are getting half into 5 plus 1, 6 plus 12, 18 ac, and that gives us 9 ac. That is the area that we got here, right? 9, not this one. This one is to trap option. If your answer is 9 AC, you can mark 9 ABC in a hurry, which I did, but the correct answer is option D. Now there is another way to solve questions whenever coordinates are given. Although this method is completely safe, okay, you don't have to worry about it, but if coordinates are given like this, we can try to imagine this on number line as well. Okay, let's say that it's given already ABC are positive integers, and if I say that b minus 2c, whatever b minus 2c is, b plus 4c will be bigger than that, right? So if a is here, let's say a is here, minus a is here, minus 2a is here, so b minus 2c will be less than b plus 4c, correct? So I put one of the points here, this point, let's say this point coordinate is a, b minus 2c. Where will be a, b plus 4c? Just above that, right? Just above that. So this point is a, b plus 4c, and the distance, this distance will be nothing but the difference in the y coordinates, 4c minus 2c. So that this distance will be 6c. Where do we put this point? Minus 2a, 3c. Now this point according to c could be anywhere. Now see, minus 2a. So this is minus 2a, right? And this point minus 2a, 3c could be anywhere on this line. Anywhere on this line according to the value of c. But of course this is b plus 4c, so it will be below b plus 4c, but it might be greater than this, less than this, we don't know. So now the triangle that we are getting, of course this line is parallel to A, right? So this is the triangle that we are getting. Now we need to find the height of this triangle. The height of this triangle when we draw perpendicular from this to this line. Now this line is parallel to y-axis. This line is parallel to y-axis. If I draw perpendicular to this, this line will be parallel to x-axis. So the distance between this point and this point will be same as the distance between these 2 points, right? Which is nothing but 3a. Minus 2a, 2a, the distance is 3a. Now we can find the area very quickly, which is half into 6c into the height, which is 3a, and that gives us 9ac, right? So it's a really good method, but not very practical, right? Because you cannot think so much so fast during exam. But of course, if you know this, next time, who knows, maybe you try this and get your answer quickly. Thank you. 5 students appeared for an examination. The average marks obtained by these 5 students is 40. The maximum mark of the examination is 100. and each of the 5 students scored more than 10 marks. However, none of them scored exactly 40 marks. Based on the information given, which of the following must be true? 5 students, average is 40. 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, right? It's possible that 3 of the values are below 40 and 2 of the values are above 40, or 2 of the values are below 40, 3 of the values are above 40, right? Situation something like this. We can take 39 and 38. Then there is a deviation of 3. So I can take this as 41, 41, 41. This is possible. It's also possible that 39, 39, 39, right? And then there is a deviation of 3 from 40. So this could be 41, this could be 42. Still, we are getting average as 40, right? So it's when it says at least 3 of them scored maximum of 40 marks, at least 3 of them. Is it possible that only 2 of them scored a maximum of 40 marks? Yes, possible. You can see this. So this is not always true. At least 3 of them scored more than 40 marks. That is also not true always. It's true. Sometimes it's true. It's not always true. There are 2 students who can get more than 40. This is also not always true. At least one of them scored exactly 41. Completely baseless question. Anyone can have 41, right? Or any other value from 11 to 100. Anyone can have any value except 40, right? So that is not always true. At most 2 of them scored more than 40 marks. At most 2 of them. Again, that is also not true. So we will try to make it that only 1 scored more than 40 marks, right? At most 2 of them. Okay, it says at most 2 of them means either 1 or 2 people. In fact, 0 possible also. 0 is not. At most means 0, 1 or 2. It cannot be more than 2. 3 people, if I am able to show that 3 people scored more than 40, then this is wrong. You have it here, right? So that is also not possible. Option E, at least one of them scored less than 40 marks. That is necessary because the average is 40. If one of them is less than 40, other must be greater than 40, right? To balance it out, correct? So yes, this statement will always be true. Option is the correct answer. Raju and Sarita play a number game. First, each one of them chooses a positive integer independently. Separately, they both multiply their chosen integer by 2. So let's say Raju chosen x and Sarita chosen y. So first multiply it by 2. So 2x and 2y. Then subtract 20 from their resultant number. So subtract 20 from their resultant numbers. Now each of them has a new number. Okay. Then they divide their respective numbers by 5. So divide these by 5, right? Finally, they added their result and found that the sum is 16. So sum of these two is equal to 16. What can be the maximum possible difference between the positive integers chosen by Raju and Sarita? Okay, that's good. So what do? We try to solve it, nothing else, right? So what we can say, 2x plus 2y minus 40 is equal to 80, or 2x plus 2y is equal to 120, or x plus y is equal to 60. Now if x plus y is equal to 60, what is the maximum possible difference between the positive integers chosen by Raju and Sarita? So can I say that it doesn't say anywhere that the given result, the new number, is positive or negative, but the taken number is definitely positive, right? Maximum possible difference between the positive integers chosen by Raju and Sarita. So if these two are 60, to take maximum possible difference, we must take it as 59 plus 1, and the maximum possible difference in that case will be equal to 58. So the answer is option B. A painter draws 64 equal squares of 1 square inch on a square canvas measuring 64 square inches. She chooses 2 squares, 1 square inch each, randomly and then paints them. what is the probability that the two painted squares have a common side? Okay, so we don't need to do this during exam, but just to make you understand, let's draw 8 into 8 chessboard, because 64 is nothing but 8 square, right? So we need to choose two squares which have one common side, right? Or we can say that we need to choose two squares which are adjacent to each other. Common side means if one of the square is this one, then other can be this one or this one or this one or this one. So it does not matter whichever two you are choosing, they will be adjacent. They should be adjacent, right? So in every column, how many squares do you see are adjacent? These two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2 are adjacent. Then 2 and 3 are adjacent. 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 such pairs can be chosen from one column. How many columns do we have? We have 8 columns, right? So how many of them can be taken? So total, we can say here that the favorable outcome, though total, it will be total number of ways of choosing. So 8 column, every column there will be 7 such pairs. Now instead of choosing from columns, we can choose from rows as well, right? Like these two squares. So it will be just double of that. So 8 into 7 into 2. This will be the total number of ways we can paint these two squares which are adjacent to each other or share the common side. And if we are looking for the probability, so 8 into 7 into 2 divided by, out of 64 we can choose any two. So 64C2, that is equal to 8 into 7 into 2, 64 into 63 into 2. So this will be 32 times. Now 8 into 7 into 2 is 112. 63 into 32 is 2016. And option A is the correct answer. Consider an plus 1 is equal to 1 upon 1 plus 1 upon an for n is equal to 1, 2, 3 till 2009, where a1 is equal to 1. Find the value of a1, a2 plus a1, a3 plus a3, a4 till 2008 into 8, 2009. You should not worry about these big values. Whenever you get situation like this, let's try to simplify this. Can I say an plus 1 will be equal to an upon 1 plus an, correct? An plus 1, this an will go above. Now a1 is given. What is a1? a1 is equal to 1. What will be a2? 1 plus 1 plus 1, so 1 by 2. What will be a3? So 1 by 2 upon 1 plus 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 upon 3 by 2. That is nothing but 1 by 3. Then what will be a4? a4 will be equal to 1 by 3 plus 1 plus 1 by 3. That is equal to 4 by 3. So 1 by 3 upon 4 by 3, that is equal to 1 by 4. So basically the pattern that we are seeing here, that an plus 1 is equal to 1 upon n plus 1, correct? This is a1 is equal to 1, except I guess yeah, this is also true. So a2, a3, a4 and so on. Now what do we need to find? We need to find a1, a2 plus a2, a3 and so on till a2008 into a2009. So basically we need to find 1 into 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 into 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 into 1 by 4 and so on till 1 by 2008 into 1 by 2009. So this is also very interesting thing. See, whenever you have 1 by k minus 1 by k plus 1, so this is equal to k plus 1 minus k upon k into k plus 1, which is eventually 1 upon k into k plus 1. So this can be written as this, right? So 1 into 1 by 2 can be written as 1 minus 1 by 2. 1 by 2 into 1 by 3 can be written as 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3. This is very important in case of whenever you are solving sequence series partial fraction questions. This information is very, very important. So what are we left with? All of these will be cancelled out, and only the first and last term will be left. 1 minus 1 upon 2009, that is equal to 2008 upon 2009. Do we have it in the options? Yes, that is option C. A non-flying ants want to travel from bottom corner of the diagonally opposite top corner of a cubicle room. The side of the room is 2 meters. What will be the minimum distance that the ant needs to travel? So this is 1 cube, like this. The ant is here at this point initially, and it wants to reach here. What will be the minimum distance? So try to imagine in your room the right bottom corner to left top corner. How do you go? Right, there is one way to go, that you go from this corner to your front corner and then go up. So if this value is a, then the corner will become, the diagonal will become a root 2, and this height will become a. So basically this will be a root 2 plus 1. But what I am talking about here is this ant is going from this place to the other corner, this place, and from this corner to vertically up. But that is not the minimum distance. How do we find the minimum distance? So in that kind of scenarios, what you need to do, the floor and the front wall. So try to take them in one flat rectangle. If I take this one and this one, it will become a flat rectangle like this, right? If this length is 2, this is also 2, and this is also 2. This point will come here and this point will come here. Now the ant needs to go from this to this. This is the distance that it needs to cover. This will be the minimum distance. And if side length is a, then this distance that we are talking about is going from here to here, the midpoint of the opposite side of the base, and from there to the opposite corner. And this length will be always a root 5. So if this is 2, you can use the Pythagoras theorem. 4 is square 16, 2 is square 4. 16 plus 4 is 20. So 20 root, square root of 20 is 2 root 5. Although if you know this is a 10-second question. And we do this in class, every single 3D mensuration class. And that's why it's a very important question. Thank you. Suppose Haruka has a special key delta in her calculator called delta key. If the display shows a 1-digit number, pressing delta key replaces the displayed number with twice its value. If the display shows a 2-digit number, pressing delta key replaces the displayed number with the sum of the 2 digits. Suppose Haruka enters the value 1 and then presses delta key repeatedly. After pressing the delta key for 68 times, what will be the displayed number? Okay, so don't go by this value 68 times. You should try to find the pattern. There is always some pattern in these type of questions. So let's say Haruka pressed 1, next result will be 2. Then after pressing the delta key, the next result will be 4, then 8. Now it will be doubled, that is 16. Then add the sum of the digits, second rule. So it will be 7, then it will be 14. Then add the digits, it will be 5. Then double will be 10. Then 1 plus 0 will be 1. Same thing will repeat. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 7, 14, 5, 10, and then again 1. So what do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and again 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Every 9th result will be 1. Right? So 63 times, after pressing 63 times, the result will be 1. and after that 64, 65, 66, 67, 68. So after 68 times pressing the delta key, the result will be nothing but option A, which is 7. A small jar contained water, lime and sugar in the ratio 90:7:3. A glass contained only water and sugar in it. Contents of both were mixed in a bigger jar, and the ratio of contents in the bigger jar was 85:5:10. Water, lime and sugar respectively. Find the percentage of water in the bigger jar. So we have water, we have lime, we have sugar, right? And in case of jar, in case of glass, and in case of the mixture, what are the ratio? This is 90, this is 7, this is 3. And in this case, in glass, we don't know, right? Only it had water and sugar. So let's say water is X, sugar is Y, and lime is 0. And when we mix it, then the ratio is, this is 85, this is 5, and this is 10. The question is, find the percentage of water in the bigger jar. Percentage of water in the bigger jar, meaning which one is bigger jar? I guess this one, right? Percentage of water. Okay, so it's already given here, 85:5:10. The ratio of contents in the bigger jar was 85:5:10. So we don't need to do anything. So total, it will be 10 plus 5, 15 plus 85, which is 100, right? Out of 100, it will be 85. Percentage of water. So that should be straight away option E, right? Ratio is given. We don't need to calculate anything, right? Option D is the correct answer. There are 3 sections in a question paper, and each section has 10 questions. First section only has multiple choice questions, and 2 marks will be awarded for each correct answer. For each wrong answer, 0.5 marks will be deducted. Any unattempted question in this section will be treated as wrong answer. So basically, if you got the correct answer, you are getting 2. Otherwise, you are getting minus 0.5. Then it says each question in the second section carries 3 marks, whereas each question in the third section carries 5 marks. For any wrong answer or unattempted question in the second section and third section, no marks will be deducted. A student's score in the addition of marks obtained in all the 3 sections. Okay, what is the 6th highest possible score? So we have section 1, we have section 2, and we have section 3, and the total score. So what we can say, in section 2, if you leave any question, so every question that you leave, your score will be reduced 3 from the maximum possible score. In section 3, every question that you leave, your score will be reduced by 5. For 10 questions, you are getting 50. If you are solving 9 questions, you are getting 45. To 8 questions, you are getting 40, right? But in section 1, if you leave 1 question, so for 10 questions, you are getting 20 marks. But if you are doing 9 questions correctly, and 1 question either wrong or unattempted, what will happen? 9 into 2, 18, minus 0.5, that is 17.5. So each question that is not correct, you are going to lose, the student is going to lose 2.5 marks, right? What is the maximum possible score when all of these are correct? 10, 10, 10, then 2 plus 3 plus 5 is 10, 10 into 10, maximum score possible is 100. Now once again, if you leave 1 question here, minus 3. If you leave 1 question here, minus 5. If you leave 1 question here, minus 2.5. So second highest score when you leave 1 marks here, and that will be equal to nothing but 97.5. Then what will be the next one? Sorry guys. So next, let's keep it 10 because the deduction is 3 here. So 9 questions here and 10 questions here. So 100 minus 3. In that case, 97 is possible. What will be the next one? See, either I can leave one question here, I'm going to get 95, right? Or 10, 10, 9, still 95. Is there anything in between? So I can leave two questions here. There is deduction of 6 from the maximum. If I leave two questions here, there is a deduction of 5. So it does not matter which case you take. You can take either this case, that 8, 10 and 10, you are getting 95, or instead of this 10, 10 and 9, still you are getting 95. So 95 will be the fourth highest score. Now what will be the fifth highest score? So after that, see, one deduction here, right? So there is a deduction of 5.5. So what we can say, if I leave one question here and leave one question here, solve all the questions here, there is a deduction of 5.5, then the student will get 94.5. This will be the fifth highest score. To find the sixth highest score, what will happen? Again, if I take combination of these two, there will be a deduction of at least 7.5. That is not what we are looking for. If I leave two questions here, there will be a deduction of 6. So solve all the 10 questions here, solve all the 10 questions here, and 8 here. There is a deduction of 6, and the score that we are getting is 94. So two consecutive scores must vary with 0.5, right? At least 0.5. It cannot be less than that, but it will always be multiple of 0.5. As you can see, there is no score between 97 and 95 possible, but if there is a reduction, it must be at least 0.5, nothing in between. So 94 is the correct answer, which is the sixth highest score possible. Option B. ABCD is a trapezoid where BC is parallel to AD and perpendicular to AB. Kindly note that BC is less than AD. So first let's draw this interesting trapezoid. We have situation like this, right? This is B, this is A, this is D, and this is C. AB is perpendicular, BC is parallel to AD and perpendicular to AB. So these two lines are parallel. Now it says P is a point on AD such that CPD is an equilateral triangle. So we draw this triangle. These three are of equal length. This is P. Now it says if the area of, before that it says Q is a point on BC such that AQ is parallel to PC. So AQ is parallel to PC. This is Q, and these two are parallel to each other. Okay. If the area of that CPD is 4 root 3, then find the area of the triangle ABQ. Now what do we know about APCQ? Can I say APCQ, two pairs of opposite parallel sides, right? So this will be a nothing but rectangle, and we know that area of this triangle is 4 root 3. So this height will be same as this height. This height is nothing but the distance between two parallel lines, which is always fixed. And after that, we know that as this is a parallelogram, AQCP is a parallelogram, PC will be equal to AQ. Opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal, right? So these are equal. Now can you see it? What I am saying it? See what I am able to see here, that if this angle is 90 degree, this is of course 90 degree. These heights are same, and this is also same. So this triangle is nothing but half of this equilateral triangle, right? Nothing but half of this equilateral triangle. Same hypotenuse, same height. So this length will be equal to this length. So we don't need to do any calculation. The area of triangle ABQ will be half of area of triangle CPD, which is 2 root 3. Answer is option A. Separately, Jack and Srishti invested the same amount of money in a stock market. Jack's invested amount keep getting reduced by 50% every month. Srishti's investment also reduced every month, but in an arithmetic progression with a common difference of 15,000. They both withdrew their respective amount at the end of 6 months. They observed that if they had withdrawn their respective amounts at the end of the 4th month, their ratio of amounts would have been the same as the ratio after 6 months. What amount of money was invested by Jack in the stock market? So let's write down the money which is left after month 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 in case of Jack, in case of Srishti. In case of Jack, it's being halved, reduced by 50% means half. So let's say amount in case of Jack after 6 months which is left is X. This will be 2X, 4X, 8X, 16X and 32X. So initial amount invested by Jack must be 64X, and in case of Srishti, this must also be 64X. So there is a reduction of 15,000 after every month, right? So what will be the amount left in case of Jack after 4 months? 4X. In case of Srishti, so 1, 2, 3, 4, it will be 64X minus 60,000. And that will be equal to amount left after 6 months for Jack is X. In case of Srishti, it will be 64X minus 90,000. 15 into 6 is 90, right? So in that case, X cancelled out. What we can say here, so multiply this, 256X minus 3,60,000 is equal to 64X minus 60,000, or 192X is equal to, this will be 3 lakhs, right? What we need to find is we need to find 64X, right? Which is nothing but exactly 1/3 of this. So this will be 1X, right? We can assume the values from here and then go here and solve it, but that will be much more complicated than this one. If you use this reverse approach, it's very easy. You can reduce the calculation by half, and option A is the correct answer. Let X and Y be two positive integers and P be a prime number. If X into X minus P minus Y into Y plus P is equal to 7P, what will be the minimum value of X minus Y? So if I expand this expression, I can write it X square minus XP minus Y square minus YP is equal to 7P. Now I can write X square minus Y square minus XP minus YP is equal to 7P. This can be written as X plus Y into X minus Y minus P X plus Y is equal to 7P. Or if I take X plus Y common, we get X minus Y minus P is equal to 7P. Now before we proceed, we need to understand one thing. Whenever you are taking two numbers, two positive numbers X and Y, if X plus Y is odd, then X minus Y will also be odd. And if X plus Y is even, then X minus Y will also be even, right? You can choose numbers and check it. Now we don't know anything about prime number P, but one thing we know, that product of two numbers 7 into P, if I take P is equal to odd, then right hand side will become odd. Right hand side will become odd. So this and this, both of these should be odd. If this is odd, only odd into odd is equal to odd, right? So if I am taking P is equal to odd, means any prime number 3, 5, 7, 11, just to check this, what we can say, in that case X plus Y odd, possible. X minus Y is odd, because X plus Y is odd, X minus Y will also be odd, and P is also odd. So odd minus odd will be even. So this case is not valid, right? This is not possible that P is equal to odd. And then again, if I take P as even, then what will happen? This number is even, right? And if this number is even, then it could be odd into even or even into odd. But we know that x plus y, if x plus y is even, then x minus y will also be even, and minus p is also even, so this will be even. Or if I take x plus y as odd, so what will happen? Odd into x minus y will also be odd, minus p is even right now, so that will also be odd, and odd into odd cannot be even, right? So only this case is valid if there is a valid case. So once again, what is the possibility? X plus y into x minus y minus p is even, that should be 14, right? Now think about this. 14 can be written as, we know that even into even case, so it can be written as either 14 into 1 or 7 into 2. There is no other case possible, correct? Because x plus y must be greater than x minus y minus p. But we already know that this must be even into even, then only even. But 14 should be multiple of 4, but that is not possible here. So once again, this was the second question in XAT 2023 Quant DI topic, section, which was wrong. The question is wrong. There is no minimum value possible because there is no case possible. Zero solutions. Although the options was, one of the options was none of the above, so we will mark that, but the question is wrong. So if you ever during exam you get question like this where you think there is some confusion, don't spend too much time on that, okay? Quickly leave to that question and move to the next one, because it's possible that you get wrong question in your exam, okay? It happens, right? Thank you.